Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today's going to be a fun video. At least it's a fun video for me. I hope it is a fun video for you. If you like what you see, please go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button because, you know, YouTube says it's important, whatever. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and do that. Today I'm going to go ahead and show all the things that I actually got finished in the month of April. Now we know I started a lot of other things. Yeah, if you're new here, you don't know that, but you're going to know that soon, right? You're going to stick around. You're going to see some of the other videos. I make a lot of things, or at least in my head I do. So this is my series where I'm trying to keep myself honest. Like, am I only making the things in my head or am I actually making things? I think if you're a crafter, you know what I'm talking about. You know, because thinking about it counts as a project, doesn't it? And you thought about it, so you completed it, so it's done. You can move to the next one. Yeah, that's why I have a few whips. That's why I have a lot of whips. So it's just how that works. Yeah, it's fun. It is. So I did get some things done this last month, the month of April, and I'm pretty pleased with it. You know, I'll look at my things and everything, and it's like, I know I worked on a lot more than that. Yeah, that's why you don't get as much done as you think. Yeah, because you got a lot going in, got a lot on your plate, a lot. But that's all right. It's fun crafting. Why wouldn't we? So let's see. One of the first things I did in the month of April, I started and I took a brioche knitting class. It's a wonderful way of doing, you can do it one color, but a lot of it is two color, and it's a very unique style that gives a really pretty result. So for the graduation of the class, I was able to make a small cowl, and I thought it was really pretty. So this is my cowl that I finished with. I'm loving the colors right there, and the back color right here. I used two different weights of Malabrigo. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, these are the yarns that I used. This is the fuchsia, this is worsted weight, and I forget what this one's called, and this was a DK weight. And the only reason I did that is because I like the colors. Okay, I would have normally picked the two of the DK. I fell in love with this. I kept walking back to this at the yarn store. It called to me. It was very pretty, my opinion, right? We all like different colors. I like a lot of color. So I couldn't set this one down. Well, I set it down multiple times, but then I kept going back and picking it up. And I also picked up this because this needs no explanation. This is fuchsia, this is gorgeous, this is bright, and brioche. You like the contrast, and this was going to give me my contrast. And I know when I first showed this, a lot of people were like, I don't know about that, to include my friends. But once I got it going, yes, it looked great. And this was my other choice that I was going to use right here. This one still has a tag. That's Lang Enya. And this is an alpaca polymade blend, 63% alpaca, 37% polymade. 50 grams is 150 meters. And, you know, it's nice fuzzy. And I was thinking of doing these two colors, just a nice, beautiful, understated, or, you know, you'll definitely would still see the pattern with it, but it would be more refined. That's the word I was looking for. And then I was also looking at that as a slap you in the face, you're going to see me coming. I kind of like that. I really like that. So I have enough to make another cowl, right? I didn't even use half of either one of the skeins. And since I couldn't make up my mind, I bought all three of them. That's how that goes. So I got that done, and, you know, pretty pleased with it. I mean, brioche, it's not hard. It's, you know, knitting. Okay, got it. But it's just a different style of knitting. And it's nice to learn different techniques. Yeah, I did a lot in April with working on learning new techniques. Did the brioche. I picked up some of the Tunisian crochet. I didn't finish it, so you don't get to see that one in this video. You'll have to come back. But isn't that pretty? And it's just such a wonderful size. It's gorgeous. There you go. And it is reversible. It just depends on what side you like to present. That's all it is. This is a free pattern. I'll go ahead and I'll link that down below. But there. So yay, I did something. I'm so proud. especially going out on a limb with a new technique, because sometimes we're afraid to start something new. We have stories, right? None of it's hard. It's yarn. It's not hard. But we have stories and we convince ourselves it's hard. It's not. You can do it. You can knit, you can crochet, you can do anything you want with your yarn. You can do Tunisian crochet. That's like a marrying a bow. You can do whatever you want. So then the next one, I don't know if these aren't in any particular order from when I made them, but they're sitting in front of me. I got my purple hippo. I had to make a purple hippo. This is a book I got on Amazon, Safari Animals, and it's just adorable. I thought it was so cute. Last month I got it sitting right here. Oh, there you go. I made this one. I made the little mint one. So I had to do this one to go with it, right? You know, it's got the little kissing hippos. They're so adorable. This was made out of a vintage yarn that I received as part of my Mystery Yarn Challenge, which is a monthly fun event. Please come back and watch that. And this is Joanne Big Twist Value Yarn. And I don't remember I used the same size crochet hook or not. I don't know. It's a stuffed critter. As long as you can't see the stuffing through, it really doesn't matter. And I'm just smitten with these. These are absolutely adorable. I grew up where the hippo was the love animal. My dad would always give my mom cards and everything with two hippos kissing. And it took a lot of years to convince my husband that when I'm talking about a hippo, I'm not saying anything about anybody's weight or anyone's size or anything like that. We are not throwing shade here. No, it is just, this is from my childhood. And this is love. So I have my pair of hippos. How adorable. And, you know, there's a lot of different Facebook groups where they talk about weird and wonderful things that just must be shared. And sometimes, you know, there you go. And one of the things is everyone wants a house hippo. So they'll go into thrift shops, this shop, that shop, whatever, and post the picture of their hippo. And they're like, is this a good house hippo? I got house hippos. I've got a pair of them. And I'm really happy with that. Just absolutely adorable. Just, you know, I mean, fun stuff. You gotta have fun with, you know, the practical. The cowls are practical, the fun and whimsy. The hippos are definitely the fun and the whimsy. Yeah, it's just, that's how that goes. And another one that is fun and whimsy, I got this done in the month of April. This doll pattern is called the Nubblekin. And of course you can use any size yarn or needles that you want. This is a fingering weight yarn I used with size 2s. And it's enjoyable. Now, I wasn't paying attention to the pattern. I made the arms bigger than they should have been. That's okay. It's a stuffed critter. It doesn't matter. This thing is supposed to be just a cuddle doll. The pattern has it not stuffed to begin with. But when you make it, you can do anything you want to with it. This is a free pattern. You can stuff it. You can put a face on it. The pattern is not stuffed. The only thing that's stuffed is the head. The body is not stuffed. And it doesn't have a face. And part of the reason I've read that on different things, there'll be certain dolls that don't have a face because it helps children with imagining. The concept is if the doll is smiling, the child may have a hard time trying to imagine the doll frowning or, you know, putting imagination through it and being unhappy, sad, having a bad day. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what I read. It might be true, but these are adorable. I have made quite a few of these. I have made quite a few of these in the past, and I put faces on them. I put little sleeping eyes on them, and I did stuff them, but you don't have to. You can do it however you want to. I do have another one of these on the needles right now using ice yarns and their prism yarn with a rainbow color. Very, very pretty. Definitely come back and see the progress on that one. But this is what I've got here. And I enjoyed doing the embroidery. This is a new thing for me. Embroidery is just not normally my forte, the concept for me. I understand what you're supposed to do, but executing it in a very pleasing manner, not necessarily the best. So I'm going to start practicing and doing stuff like that where it's not going to make a difference if I put that on there or if they're crooked or something along that line. But I can learn and I can practice and I can point to it as I get better going, hey, look at the improvements. And this is so soft and so squishy. It's very, very lightly stuffed. So soft and squishy and cuddly. I really, really like it. So those are those are those. Oh my goodness. And then I was working on some other things. This isn't all of them, and I don't know where the other ones went. Well, I'm losing flowers. I'm working on all of these different embellishments, try to pin them down just to make it a little bit easier to show off. I have another one of these in the purple, and I don't know where it went because that's a big flower, right? Gotta find it. I've got some of the other blue ones, blue and yellow, just like these purple ones up here. I'm gonna drop them because they're not pinned. But see, I just wanted to have them on the board so I'm not going like, see, look, see, I made a flower. Look, see, yeah. But these I have a special purpose for. I'm making more of them, and if I stop losing them, because I do have, I don't know where it's at. I have 2 of these big leaves, right? I don't know where the other one is. I've got a couple of these. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know where the other flower of that is. I should probably put them all in a bag and stop trying to pin them down or what have you. But that's okay. I'll make more. So those I made this month, and they have a special purpose. I'm going to use those on this blanket. So this blanket, I finished the squares in a previous month, but I did border all of them this month. So all the purple on this is new. That's backwards. No, there we go. All the purple, the bordering of this is new for this particular blanket that I did get done in April. Excited about that. For me, I call this my blank canvas, and my blank, I know it's not blank. There's a lot of detail on that, right? That's a lot of detail with all those squares. How could you call this a blank canvas? Well, you saw all the embellishments, and what I want to do with the embellishments is in the purple section. So this is why I keep losing my embellishments. In the purple section and all over, let me grab that blue flower. What I'm wanting to do is pin down the greenery, pin down, oh, I've got a stem. I've got this is like an I-cord type thing, but sew these things down, right? And make it into flowers. And my idea is that's almost like, you know, a 4-pane window, and then putting the decorative flowers on there. And the other part is looking at, you saw the ladybugs here. These are adorable. I've got the ladybugs, and I'm looking at bees. I haven't made any yet, but bees, worms, bugs, something that's not necessarily difficult to make, but that it can be added to the blanket. And I like the ladybugs. They are textural, they are 3D. And well, the flowers for that matter will stick up. You can see that there, especially this one's quite 3D. And the idea is to create a visually pleasing blanket. At least I'm hoping it's going to be visually pleasing. You've got all the bright colors and something that a child will just gravitate to. And the other thing too, with all the textures of the flowers and the bugs and the other things that are, you know, I've got in my head that I want to bring out in yarn, they're textural, so they have that tactile sensory feel on top of the blanket. Because this blanket I'm going to send to Camp Boggy Creek. And if you're not familiar with that, they're collecting, well, we're collecting blankets. A lot of YouTubers and everyone else, right? There's a lot of people getting together. There'll be, later on in the year, there'll be a lot more videos on that. But suffice it to say, they're being donated, and they're going to go to sick children who don't normally get a chance to go to camp. And this is a memento to the child. After they leave camp, they get to take the blanket home with them. So my idea is the best, the brightest, or the best that I can do, right? You know, best is subjective, we know that. But the best that I can come up with that is just bright, over the top, fun and exciting, and something that a child will just gravitate towards and absolutely love. And I like the textural idea with the flowers, just that because fidget spinners are a big thing, and these little fidget toys. So having all that stuff on the blanket would serve a similar purpose to be able to touch and to feel, and be very pleasing to the eye, to the child and the parents. Well, if they like neons and brights anyway. I happen to love those. So this is not a hardship for me to make super bright for a child. And that's where I'm at with that. I don't have enough of the embellishments yet, especially with me continuing to lose them. What? I don't understand. But this is my idea. So this is my palette at the moment. And I want to get a lot more because I plan on making more than one blanket and using the different things like that. So I don't know, that's like 10, 15, whatever. I think once I get about 20 or 30 embellishment pieces, then I'll start to piece them together. But in the meantime, I'm still making blanket squares, because those blanket squares right there, another designer has been making those and putting them out, and there's like 52 weeks in a year, we know that, and she's put it upon herself to put out squares once a week. So for the near term, I'm continuing to make those. So that was 4 of the squares that she had. And then other things that I did, because again, I'm working on them. Oh yeah, this stack of yellow squares, I got 4 yellow squares done this month, and these I'm planning on bordering with black, and I'd like to do the same concept of a theme but doing bumblebees. And I was thinking, well, wait a minute, if I've got the blanket yellow and black, and then I try to do yellow and black bumblebees, you're not going to be able to see it. So I had some suggestions going, we'll make the bees different colors. Why didn't I think of that? So now I got to come up with how I want to make the bees. And I like that idea. I can do some hot pink ones. I can do some green ones. You know, I can do all sorts of bright and just beetles. Ooh, beetles. Yeah. Something along that line that's just fun. So this right here was square number 17, but I got 4 of them done. This was square 16, and the yarn I'm using is Big Twist Value yarn, and I can get 2 squares out of 1 skein of that yarn, and those come in 6-ounce size, 6-ounce skeins, unless you get the pound plus one, and it's like, what, 380 yards, I believe, and 100% acrylic. And this one was square 15. And blocking them was really nice. It really opened up the pattern quite well and showing that lace that's there. And I like the fact that each square, even though for these particular ones are the same color, I'm really enjoying the different patterns. And this was square 14 right here. And there's a lot of texture in this one. Yes, I still have my ends to weave in, but I'm going to have a lot of ends to weave in when we're talking about all the embellishments that I'm going to be putting on that. So that is what I got done in April. I mean, you look at this. This is the knitted portion of a 40 by 40 blanket. And now I've got to edge it. And I guess you could say I didn't make a full completed blanket. It's kind of interesting. I did all 4 of these squares. I had all 4 of these squares, but then bordered them and didn't border these. So I guess in a way I did make a full blanket, right? You know, yeah, in the month of April. But until I get all the embellishments on it and make it super fancy, I'm not counting it as done. I just want to go overboard and extra. And you know, I think even just this by itself, a child would like. Even without all the crazy ideas I have concocted in my head. Just having that really bright orange and the contrasting with the purple, I think would really do it. That would just be wow as it is. But I want it extra special. And then I want to do the same thing with this. Will it take longer? Yeah, that's okay. I'm knitting and I'm crocheting anyway, and I'm exploring and learning different tools and different techniques. Like the ladybugs, I haven't done those before. That was a new thing for me to do, the little ladybugs, and I think they're adorable. And taking the time to do that, and I think that's another part of it is, yeah, I make a lot, or I think I do. Sometimes it's good to slow down just a little bit, kind of back up just a little bit, take a deep breath, and kind of think about what you're doing, and maybe instead of work on speed, work on that uniqueness, that difficulty. But well, like this, doing the brioche cowl outside of my window well, right? I mean, outside of my, that is not the right word, but I think you know what I'm saying. You know, not something that I normally do, not normally in my sphere of I know how to take care of it. So that's what I'm working with the embellishments, because that's not something I normally work on and make. And I'm stepping back and taking that time to expand my creative energies. And I think that's really a lot of fun to do that. I don't know if that's something that you've ever thought about doing, or you do it subconsciously, because I think that a lot of times we do things subconsciously. We don't realize that's what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'm working on it. We'll see. We'll see how well that goes, because you know how we tend to put more pressure on ourselves than what we need to. And evidently I've been doing that quite a bit. So my husband said, oh, you're taking time off. So this week I have taken vacation. Oh my goodness. So we'll see how more awake I may or may not be if I get things done, or I just sleep for a week, because I feel like that's what I need to do. But, you know, take time for that self-care too. Enjoy your crafts, enjoy your hobbies, enjoy your family, your work, and everything else that's going on. But take a little bit of time for you, whatever that means. For me lately, it's a nap, right? It's truly just a nap. But do that and have fun. And put your stuff into your crafts the way you want it to be. You can follow a pattern and use it as a guide, as a suggestion. You know, if you love it 100%, by all means, work it exactly the way that it says to. But if you've got an inkling to, like, I'm changing the color, I'm going to do a little bit different here, go for it. Because it's your creativity is using the pattern as a jump off point to make it into something of your own. And that's what I'm working on with pretty much everything that I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to come up with how do I make it me? How does it look like if somebody were to look at, like if somebody were to see something that I made, it's like, oh, Shannon did that, you know, that type of a thing. That's what I'm working on. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. So those are the things that I got completed in the month of April. I worked on a lot more. Yeah, I really did. And I'm really pleased getting these 4 blanket squares done. These blocked out are 17 inches square. That's because I'm using worsted weight yarn and size 8 needles. So it does come up very, very large, and it's wonderful. It is so much fun. Follow along, because that designer is putting those particular squares free for the first week of release. So definitely follow along. I do put out reminders. I am not the designer, but I do put out reminders. And if you want them, definitely go grab them, because you might want to make one later on. And if you do, tag me. Let me know. Of course, I don't know how you tag me. I don't know, but let me know. Yeah, I've got my stuff down there, comment and all that other stuff. And yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to know. With that, everybody, I have shown you everything I've done in April. I'm really pleased. Let me know what you've done, and I will talk to you again later. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. Bye-bye.